Yo! What's up, everybody? It's SupaFly Fat Guy A59 coming at you again. Well, here we go. Sunday night vlog number 8. I've been doing this for 8 weeks now. That's pretty crazy. Not really a whole lot to talk about. I mean, I didn't do a whole lot, and nothing really interesting. About the only thing I did that was interesting was I was hanging out at my mom's house last night, and which is literally right across the street. But she's got one of those like metal fire pits. So we just sat outside around that for hours. Like I guess I'll call her my stepsister. I guess we'll call her that. It's her son. Anyway, her son and my mom went walking around the neighborhood picking up sticks and limbs that fell out of trees and stuff, and they brought it back, and we snapped it up in little pieces. And he's only 2 years old, or maybe 3 years old, but I made sure he wasn't around the fire or anything, but he kept wanting me to throw more and more on there. It was funny. But he was a trip. But yeah, we just sat around and burned fire, really. Burned wood. Just sat around and had a good time, just talking or whatever. So that's really the best thing I've done since last vlog. So I've done a lot of videos since the last vlog. I'm sure you guys have seen that. I haven't gotten a lot of as many views as I thought I would. I mean, I get quite a few views, but there's videos, usually I get more than 100 views on just about every one of my videos, but there's some videos I still have a couple really surprising ones too. I understand not everybody wants to see the contest entries, but there was a couple of them, like my antique shotgun. I think I just would assumed I would have had more views on that. Or like my Glock video where I kind of showed you the Glock and stuff. I just thought people would, more people would watch that, but I guess not. So I don't know. It's so hard to figure out here on YouTube, like what people want. Like, I know not everybody or most people don't want to see the contest videos. I get that, but it's like, other than that, I just can't ever figure out what the hell people want. So anyway, last week I asked if you guys had any comments or questions you wanted me to ask, put them in the comments, and I would answer them this week. I literally had 2. So, I had a bunch of comments about everything else, but I guess only 2 people made it to that part of the video last week. Trace O'Liberty, awesome woman. She wrote, "Good stuff. Love The Walking Dead. I want the governor gone, but then they'll have to bring in another nasty character for next season. I don't think they'll be able to kill that foul man. For your vlog next week, I'd like to hear you talk a little bit about about how you grew up. You seem to have a close family, and I'll bet you have some awesome stories." I got some awesome stories, but not too many about my family. Actually, funny thing is, I really don't have a close family. Like, I don't. I'm close to my mom, and I'm close to my dad, but Mom and Dad would prefer not to be in the same room as each other. They've never been together, married, anything like that. I don't want to go into too much detail, but I was a fluke. like I know my mom loves me and everything, but it wasn't one of those things that was supposed to happen. So yeah, so they were never together or anything like that, and they basically my dad and mom were friends, and my mom ran into some trouble in her early years. She was a wild person. Just not a wild woman, just a wild person in general. She was crazy. But anyway, she ran into a rough patch, and my dad said, you can move in my house if you help me fix it up, because Dad was renovating the house at the time. He had just bought it several years prior to that, and he put in all new floors, and I mean, I'm not talking like, you know, putting down hardwood floors. I mean, like, he put in new floors. My dad's house was built in like 1907 or something like that, and when he bought it, it was in pretty rough shape, and like, he put in a bathroom, and he put in he renovated the third floor and made it 2 rooms, like 2 bedrooms, and yeah, it's got 3 floors. It's a I don't know how to explain it. It's a pretty big house, but it's really narrow, going straight up, and that's how all the houses are in Newport. They're well, at least on the west end. I mean, you got they're cramming as close to each other as possible. If you stand on my dad's front porch, to the right, if you go in that side, their side yard, you can stand like this and touch both houses. So, and then to the left of my dad is probably double that. You know, it's probably only about 12, 15 foot apart, maybe. So, you know, it's pretty close together. But anyway, yeah. So that's how they met, or well, how I happened. Was she was just there to help renovate the house, and you know, one thing led to another, and Paul's here. Ta-da! But as far as how I grew up, I've told this story before, but I don't like to talk in detail or anything. But I didn't have the best childhood either, really. Obviously, my mom had me at what used to be St. Luke Hospital in Fort Thomas, Kentucky, and she had me, and I lived with her for about 3 years, and Mom took a vacation to the big house, and I had to go live with my aunt. I lived with my aunt for roughly 2 years, and my aunt, her kids are, at this time I'm, 3 years old. Well, her youngest is 12 or 13, something like that. Well, we're exactly 9 years apart. We have the same birthday, and he's 9 years older than me, and so he's like 12 or 13 years old, and she doesn't have to worry about toddlers anymore. So anyway, at the time when I was first born, my dad said that I couldn't be his and stuff because he was sterile and all this other dumb shit, which anyway, for whatever reason, he stepped up to the plate, and I left my aunts and went to live with my dad when I was about 5 years old, somewhere around there. 4 years old, 5 years old. I don't know the exact day, but anyway, I moved in with Dad, and all of a sudden I went from this really strict house to this house that I could do, say, eat, and whatever I wanted. I could come and go as I please. Well, not when I was young, but when I started to get older in my my later teens and stuff, my early teens, mid to late teens, we'll say that. I came and went as I pleased. I could be out all night long. It was just one of those things that Dad was either at work, which he worked a lot and still does, or he was home asleep. And the time that he did have to himself, he usually wasn't home for a number of different reasons, but one was the bar. Dad's an alcoholic, Mom's an alcoholic, both, but Dad's not one. He's not. He never. I think I've literally seen him stupid drunk one time in my entire life. But Dad's a big guy. He can drink a lot, and you never know he was intoxicated. But he was never one to beat me or anything like that. Like, he wasn't one of those drunks. So thank God for that. But I mean, that's pretty much it. Like, I grew up with my dad, and for many years it was just me and Dad. And then Dad found this girlfriend that he's still with, and I was furious, absolutely furious that it wasn't me and Dad anymore. And that's why, well, one of the main reasons why I became the the ungrateful little bastard that I was as a teenager, and I did a lot of really bad things. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, that's kind of how I grew up. And then my dad, let's see, 2008, so what was that, almost 5 years ago. So I'd have been so I was 21 years old. My dad said you have until August 15th, which was 5 days after my birthday. Obviously my birthday's on August 10th, and which I turned 22. He was like, you have until August 15th to get a job or get to stepping. And I was like, he ain't gonna kick me out, you know. And sure enough, he did. He kicked me out, and I hated him for it. I did. I don't have a dad anymore. I said some bad things when I left. It was stupid. And yeah. So I moved out. Moved all my crap to my grandma's because I didn't have anywhere else to put it, really. And then I moved in with my friend Amber. I was with her for a while, and or living with her for a while, and I was working at Walmart, and then I got a call to a better job. I did Macy's and Bloomingdale's customer service online. That's pretty much why customer service is a big deal to me, because I did it for a while, like almost 2 years, and I worked a lot of overtime. I worked overtime as much as they would let me, and anyway. Lost that job, and they took my job to the Philippines, and I said that they offered me a job that was like literally $3 an hour less than what I was making before, which would barely cover gas from back and forth. And at the time I was like, no, that's alright, I'll find something else. And I went on unemployment, and unemployment, when you get a check for not doing anything every 2 weeks, that doesn't, unless you're a very strong-willed person, which I'm not, clearly, that doesn't do much for you physically. I didn't do anything. I had no motivation to do anything. Why do anything? I got this check coming to me, you know. And when that ran out, it was rough. But I had saved up a bunch of money from when I was working at Converges. And then I saved up more money from unemployment, and I lived on that for quite a while. And that's pretty much gone now, and I'm not sure where I'm going now. That's where life is for me right now. I'm not sure which path to take. So, what is this? What are we, 20 minutes in or something crazy? I don't know. I gotta get going. But anyway, yeah, so that's my life pretty much. So Trace of Liberty, thank you. And then we got another question from Marine Sadness, Serene Madness, and he said he just wants to know how old I am. I'm 27. I'll be 28 August 10th. I was born August 10th, 1985. So everybody, that's the two questions that I got last week. Quite an extensive answer to Trace of Liberty, but I don't think it was what she expected. But I guess that's the fun of all this. You really don't know people as much as as well as you think you do. So The Walking Dead tonight. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and jump to that. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Plain and simple, just because I want to get this, I want to stop this and get it done, because it's going to be a long video. I even posted on Facebook, if my sweetheart, my little mama, if Maggie dies, and if my homie Daryl dies, I'm done with this show. Done. And tonight at the end, I almost thought that I was going to be done with the show. But the ending was just surreal. Man, Merle went out like a gangster, though. You know what? That's the first time I've liked him since I started watching this. Don't get me wrong, Merle was funny. Like, he brought some comic relief to this show, unlike anybody else. He was hilarious. Some of the shit that he said a few episodes ago, when he said he's never done anything for anybody that hasn't cooked him dinner or filleted his piece. When he said that, I LOL'd for real. But anyway, yeah, tonight was awesome. I can't wait until the finale next week. I kind of wish the governor would be dead tonight, but he's not. And I'm kind of worried at where this is going to go, man. And I think some of my favorite people are going to die next week, and I'm pretty sad about that. So anyway, guys, I think that's about it. I don't think I have anything else to cover, and this has been long enough. So everybody, take her easy.